TAURONOS, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is a game inspired by the Greek myth of the labyrinth and the fight between Theseus and the Minotaur. My name's Kanan, and let's see if it holds up to the myth. Upon entering the options screen, we're presented with a nice looking shadow effect and the usual options. And then we enter the start screen with a continue if you've got a game already running, or a new game for those that are just starting or have died many times. And with a new game being easy, medium, hard, we go for the medium level and we set upon our journey. With each level having a certain amount of collectibles that you have to go find during your playthrough of each stage. And then at the end of each stage, it shows you what you have found and what could have been found, with a map of the chapter, along with stages, lives, and a button to continue later, which is much appreciated. And so these powers from the gods make you stronger and faster, and among other things. There are also health bushes and a shield or a mirror that you can wipe clean to see where the Minotaur is at that point. Talking about the Minotaur, he starts from a trapdoor and starts hunting you, and he can be paused if you can find his trapdoor that he came out of, but beware. Trapping him when you find that trapdoor will pause him, but if he's in the entrance to where you are, you may not be able to get out because he'll block your way and you can't get past him that way. The playing field is a set of mazes with different elements to it, with traps and the ability to avoid the traps, mostly done quite cleverly with little secret routes that you need to take just to not set the traps off. And then there's secret areas which look like other areas, and you get rewarded for exploring, but be careful, because if you pick the wrong path to go down, you can end up dead very quickly, or trapped and have to go all the way back. And as you can see, there are many traps that can end your run in an instant. And the whole area has a Indiana Jones style to it, which I love. And yes, you can be chased by a ball. And now I'm not going to mention everything and all the little intricacies of this game, because of the way this game is, it relies on you noticing these things or finding them out yourself for the enjoyment. If I tell you everything, then well, basically, nothing's going to be a surprise to you. Although I will say that you will be unblocking areas and passages from fallen rocks while avoiding arrows and trying to find as many enhancements as you can while avoiding the Minotaur and finding a way out. All this while your character talks and chats to himself. And I find this such a great way to make you connect with him. And I was feeling like I wasn't just playing a generic game with a generic character. I actually kind of had a bond with him in the end. And it helped heighten the experience. And the fact that this game is permadeath. Yes, after all your lives are gone and your continues are gone, that's it. You're dead. Straight back to the beginning. Start again. No messing. That kind of hurts. But yeah, it makes you think about what you're doing a lot more. As for the looks of this game, well, it has some sort of retro pixel art Greek style to it. And I do like the way the shadows are made to be part of the actual game mechanics. So you can't see everything. So you're wandering around and trying to flashlight everything that you can just to see what's around the corner and what traps that you can avoid. But it's the sound of the game that really puts this game ahead for me.
Massive forces resisting me. I have to stay strong.
As I said, the interaction with your main character.
That was a close one.
And to me, it's voiced very well. And I appreciate that, because there are so many lazy voiceovers out there. and he gives you hints and just chats to himself sometimes, and when he's going insane, you know you're going insane, and all the other sounds have a certain weight to them.
Better keep rushing forward.
And so when you hear something smashing upon the rock of the side of the maze, it does actually sound like it's doing some damage. With me, I don't know whether it's the subject matter or the fact that I used to play games like this when I was younger, but this game has hit a chord with me. And even writing this review right now, I'm thinking of going back and playing it time and time again, just to get everything, to try and 100% it. It's a simple, slow mechanic, and I think it works the way they've done it. I like the fact that I can now run through more or less all the areas that I've done before and then get to a new area, and that kind of fear of what's coming slows me right down, and then I'm just looking around for traps and the like, whilst keeping an eye on the monitor. I have to say that when I was slightly rushing somewhat on multiple occasions, I would get stuck kind of between scenery, and I'd have to readjust myself to get past areas. This happens, not very often, but it's annoying when the Minotaur is well behind you. And the sting of permadeath sending you all the way back to the tutorial is, well, it's really harsh. I can see why they've done it, but it still stings once you've got really far into the game. But I'm guessing that's the point. And so I rate games out of 5, and I'm going to give TAURONOS, again, hopefully I pronounced that right or correctly, a 4 out of 5. Now, I think it's, and this is my own personal view, it deserves a 4 out of 5 for being different, for thinking slightly out of the box, and for creating something that does have a lot of atmosphere to it, and I personally found fun. Thanks to the continuation system, I can turn it off whenever I've done a stage and come back to it later, which means that I can play it for little short bursts and then turn it off and then come back, or I can have longer runs where I really get into it and really get further. And it's that getting a little bit further that really is the addicting thing about this game, that little edge forward, that toe over the line type feeling about it. TAURONOS is £5.39p or $6.99 and comes out on the 3rd of November 2020. Let me know what you think about it. Are you going to purchase it, or are you going to give it a miss? Let me know down in the comments, because as I always say, that's what they're there for. And so hit that like and subscribe button. You'll be doing me a huge favour. And remember to keep it switch heads.